gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. That's right, we're the show that takes that news, we put it into an instant pot for a little while, and then we cook it until it's roughly 165 degrees in the center. Then we chop it up, we put it into a tortilla, and you enjoy yourself some odd news carnitas with some lettuce and with some rice and beans. And then later you're like, oh, I enjoyed that odd news so much. Why does my belly hurt? And then everyone around you flees the room because it's gotten way too intense. And your butt's all like, what? Tacos. And that's what happens. Hi, I'm your host, Steven, joined as always by Ashley. And I just want to apologize outright for that explanation of what our show's about. But if you're new here,
you basically said we were a giant fart.
Well, I did. No, I said we were the tasty food, and then what came next was the fart, which is basically the MP3. Look, I'm out of space. I'm out of runway. Let's just go. Just go. Half-hour power tonight, party people. We're going to be doing a half hour of power. If you're familiar with the show, you know that the hope of doing that's actually kind of not even a hope. Barely. It's not a dream. It's just
I don't even know why we say it.
I don't know.
Challenge.
So the reason we're doing a half-hour power is because tomorrow, actually, you're having some form of surgical operation, and if I remember right, it's to go ahead and get that big toe that's growing out your side of your body from where you ate your twin in the womb. You get that removed. Is that correct?
If you were to absorb your twin in the womb and had to have some relic of that left over, what would it be?
Probably the big toe, and it would be like growing out of my shoulder or something. And I'd have
why a toe? Like, what does that represent?
Seems the least intrusive.
A toe growing out of your shoulder, like all of your shirts would have this weird nipple.
Okay, maybe I didn't think this through. Maybe you just have one of your twins' nipples like in the middle of your chest or something weird.
Okay, I feel like a scaremonger nipple would be less intrusive than like the big fat toe.
The big toe. But you can keep that in a jar after you got it cut off and be like, look at the remnants of my twin. Does a ingested twin have a soul?
Aw, Steven!
Like, what happens to an ingested? What? Don't look at me. I can't help these thoughts.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, I know. We went real deep. It got dark real quick.
If your mom was like, Steven, you were a twin, but you're a shark bastard and you ate it in the womb, like, would you feel bad?
Why would you feel bad? You had no control over that. Your impulse said you were going to be the one that wins.
Yeah, but like, would there be some sort of like, oh man, I could have had a twin if only I wouldn't have ingested him.
If only I could have handled my my impulses and not eaten him. That would have been good.
How do you absorb a twin? Now I'm really curious because I've never really thought about it. Like, how do you absorb a bundle of cells into a separate bundle of cells and have them, because they all have their own DNA, right?
Yeah, sure, they do.
So it's just like two city planners smashing together and trying to become one city planner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't do it. Can you? Sorry, I saw you getting distracted, and then I was distracted. Oh no, it was behind you just a moment ago. There was a gorilla.
That's not funny.
There's a man in a gorilla suit.
On the deck.
Well, then maybe there is. Maybe there's a bear out there. You did have a deer visit you today. What? Okay, you don't actually have anything back there. No one saw it. It got up and moved real quick.
This is why I stopped watching horror after I had the baby, because I'm up at night by myself a lot. So I'm just like, I need to stop. It was either fireworks or something loud on the deck.
Well, it might have been gunfire. Given the state of the world that we're in, you could have a war of sorts breaking out in the kingdom that you live in. the kingdom. There could be an uprising right outside your door. Who knows? Who knows? I'll tell you something. Here's an anecdote.
Okay.
I have decided that when I see uprisings in the Middle East now, you know how we watch the news and we're like, uprisings in the Middle East, and it's like people all over some building yelling stuff. I am now going to imagine that within 10 miles of that, there's somebody sitting there going, daggone, look at how crazy people are getting today. Because I've now lived the experience of seeing it on TV and knowing that I'm 6 hours away going, what the crap are they doing? And I'm gonna believe that happens everywhere now. That's the status quo. You see an uprising on TV, it's framed in such a way that it looks like there's thousands of people, but just outside the camera, there's a bunch of people sipping coffee going, what in the world?
Well, I wonder because the U.S. is such a massive area, right? Like we're several countries big. So I mean if it was like we were all in the state of Georgia, it would be a little different, maybe.
I mean, maybe no.
How
there's
big
still
are
a lot of
countries?
space in other places.
That sounds like a beautiful country western lyric.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'll write that later. I'll write that down. But there's lots of land everywhere. It's just we all think that one square block where there's people shooting at each other, it's the whole place. It's like a 10. DC itself is a 10 by 10 square, right? 10 by 10 mile square.
It is one 3-word block.
Right? What?
My 3 words.
Oh, my 3 words. Oh,
yes.
What was that website? Because that thing was awesome. 3 words. The 3 words. My 3 words.
My 3 words.
Oh gosh. Now
I still have the app on my phone from Dragon Con that we didn't get to do.
What 3 words?
What 3 words? There we go.
Oh yeah, that was so cool. You guys, so there's a website, what3words.com. And it helps you pinpoint someone's location using 3 words. It is broken down every 10 by 10 square in the world?
Yes.
Into a IP address for your body using words. Where are you?
That's how we found each other at DCon. We're like, I'm at Focus Antelope Groin.
Yeah, and then you go to Focus Antelope Groin, and that 10 by 10 square of land was named that, and I knew exactly where Ashley was.
The only problem was, at one point, our 10 by 10 square was separated by a wall, and I was on the other side of the wall.
Yes. Yeah, and that was
and you guys were like, you're inside and not outside. I'm like, why would I?
How do we get to you? Because the 10 by 10 square just didn't work.
Yeah,
it was split. It was split down the middle. But I liked it. I had a good time with it. It was fun.
I was like, he's like, where are you? And I kept sending. I was like, download the app. Sub's like, no, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep sending you 3 random words then.
Sub was being obstinate. And because of that, he hurt himself.
Yes.
We didn't tell him.
And then he had to immediately leave.
Yeah, then he's like, hey, I got here. Now my goats are out. I got to leave.
Steven literally thought you had goats for like 9 months.
I did. Ashley kept calling them goat dogs and wasn't giving me any relevance. I'm like, goats. I just imagine he lived on a farm because he lives in Georgia. I lived in Georgia. I know what Georgia looks like. Lots of people have land and farms and stuff.
My goats are loose. Bessie.
The goats are loose.
What would you name goats? What would you name your 3 goats?
I had 2 goats in real life. One of them was named Nancy, and one of them was named Billy, because we're real original. And then we had a third. They had baby goats, and one of those goats that I recall, my sister named Yo-Yo Ball, because she was 3, and they let her.
I was gonna say, was she 3?
Yeah.
She's either 3 or me.
Right, yeah. She was the Yo-Yo Ball was the name of it. So, Sam, we're playing, my sister got him Let's Go Pokemon Pikachu, or Let's Go Pikachu, the Pokemon game for the Switch. And we were playing it the other night, and we're sitting there making up names. He gets his name. I want to be named Sam. Okay. What's the name of your arch nemesis? I'm like, Sam, what do you want to call your arch nemesis? Weird. Okay, well, that guy's name is Weird now. But he gets his first Pokemon, which is a Pikachu. And they're like, what would you like to nickname your Pikachu? He goes, Sparklight. And I'm like, that's the best flippin' Pikachu name I've ever heard in my life.
That really is.
That was a good
That's
name.
fantastic. Where the hell did he come up with Sparklight?
I don't know. He goes, because it has lightning power. And I'm like, what are you doing, you crazy, weird kid with the good names? Anyway.
Brains are fun.
Yeah, he really connected
One
the
day I
dots
hope
on
to
that
have
one. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah,
now I hear sirens. Something happened.
Somebody done got shot.
There's so many sirens, and they're different sirens. They're like police sirens and then something else sirens, like ambulance sirens.
Maybe it was a car accident. You ever heard of car accident? Those can be pretty wonky from inside.
I've been at a stoplight where someone I shouldn't laugh. Such a dick. So like it was a 4-way stop, and of course this was at Virginia Beach. I was here, and then traffic was stopped here, and we were stopped, and these people were turning like this, right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I just see a car launch over the car that was stopped because they did not stop, and it goes, "Choo, and I sat there. I'm like, holy
Wow.
shit! Should we check on them? And then my passenger jumps out of the car because he was an idiot, runs over, and then people start pouring out of his car and running away. And he comes back. He's like, they're drunk. I think they're okay, but they're all gone now.
Well, I hope they're fine. Did you didn't get out and check then? You didn't go make sure they were okay?
No. I'm just like, whatever.
You didn't. I had a buddy of mine. He was like, I saw an accident once and it was bad, and I jumped out of my car and somebody was bleeding out of the head, and I took my shirt off and I covered their head with my shirt. And I'm like, I would have thought to do none of those things. None of them.
That was real.
Not a single one. He was in the Army Reserve, so he had some training on how things happen.
Yeah.
He always called it play
also
army.
Make it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'd be like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, broke your neck.
I would screw somebody up so quick. I'd know it. I'd walk out there and be like,
let me drag you out of the car.
And they like leave their foot in there, and they actually had a broken neck, so now they can't walk. If you hadn't touched them, they would still be able to move. Thanks, doctor.
Crushed.
They'd
Crushed
be on
for
fire.
life.
Yeah, whatever. So anyway, Factoid of the week. Oh, wait. I don't have my buttons. There they are. Wind is caused by differences in air pressure. Okay, yeah, we knew that. Air rushes from high-pressure areas to lower ones. Depending on their strength, winds can be known as breeze, gale, storm, or hurricane. A breeze blows from 4 to 31 miles per hour, while a gale blows between 32 and 63 miles per hour. The strongest winds in the solar system are on Saturn, where they reach speeds of over 1,100 miles. But could you imagine 1,000 mile per hour winds?
Isn't that a hurricane?
No, we've never had 1,000 mile per hour winds.
What really?
Max recorded wind gust ever. It's like the breath of God. 81 world record wind. Let's see. Tuesday, April 10th, 1934. Oh, they're going to try to tell me a story. Like, I just want the value. Just what is the value? I don't need.
What is fast wind muchly?
I don't need a story. 231 mile per hour.
Okay, that's quite a bit lower than 1,000. I'm thinking different planets with the winds. What's the planet that's just a massive ball of hurricane
of winds?
Yes.
The wind ball. Venus? Does Venus have wind?
You can see the storm, like it's
that's
huge.
Jupiter.
It's bigger than the United States.
Jupiter has that big zit on its face.
Is that it?
Yeah. Jupiter's got the big red storm.
Yes. JH agrees with you.
Jupiter
Zapho agrees with you. Okay.
See, I know things every now and then too. You can fit like 80,000 Earths in a Jupiter. That's not true. You can fit a lot of them.
Wide. I was like, it's bigger than the United States because my brain's like, that is the world.
Hence why world news is from every other country than us.
Yay.
That was a good segue, Steven, if you'd only been Johnny on the spot with the button. Dutch officials seize ham sandwiches of drivers arriving from the UK. Give me that.
Why?
Just driving in, eating your ham sandwich you picked up at the Squeaky Lube, and you're like, I'm just going to drive into Dutch land. Pull over. Give me your ham. Dutch TV News has aired footage.
Somebody quote that. Pull over, give me your ham.
Dutch TV News has aired footage of customs officers confiscating ham sandwiches from drivers arriving by ferry from the UK under post-Brexit rules banning personal imports of meat and dairy products into the EU. This is the kind of consequence that we didn't consider that leaving the EU does. You know, like, this is what happens. One minute you can drive into somewhere in Europe with a ham sandwich and nobody cares. The next minute it's an import.
Like,
I'll put that in there.
So, if you just shove it into your face quickly, does that mean you're smuggling it in your gut?
Yes. No, I don't. I think once you've eaten it, that's just that's how it works. Oh, there we go. Sub got it. Sub got the quote. It's been a long time how to do a quote. Yeah. Once you've eaten it, it becomes yours. Like they can't ask you to give it back. So you have to eat it while you're on the ferry.
They can do anything. It's
sure.
just whether.
Oh gosh, could you imagine being fined because you ate a ham sandwich before you got there? You now are in possession of ham. Or like you still
had it in your mouth as you crossed over the border, and you.
Oh no, yeah, and your meat could get into their meat.
Yes.
That sounds very intrusive.
Yes.
Officials wearing high-visibility jackets are shown explaining to startled car and lorry drivers at the Hook of Holland ferry terminal that since Brexit, you're no longer allowed to bring certain foods to Europe, like meat, fruit, vegetables, fish, and that kind of stuff. Can you imagine? You're Britland. And you're driving across the thing, and then you're entering Europe. You're no longer Europe. They say you can't bring that to Europe. And you're like, I am Europe. I'm the UK. And they're like, no, you're not Europe anymore. You're the UK, and you're over there. The rest of us are going to drive around eating ham sandwiches into each other's countries. You left.
Dude, that sucks.
You're FaceTiming with grandma sitting in London. Hey, what are you doing? I'm just driving over across the border to Germany while eating a ham sandwich. Take that.
Neener.
Neener.
So I've never thought about how people from the United Kingdom get to the rest of Europe, except like in my brain, it's very Three Musketeers, and you take a boat to Calais. Like how do you cross the English Channel?
And on a ferry, I guess. Put your car on a ferry and it drives you over there.
How long does the ferry take? Like, eat your sandwich before you're done with the ferry ride.
How long to cross English Channel in ferry? It is the English Channel, right? Isn't that what that is? Or is that a different spot?
The
English
channel.
Channel ferry cross.
3 people have said channel.
What's
and
a
I'm
channel?
assuming that's not. It's a train tunnel.
A channel tunnel?
The canal, maybe.
Oh yeah, channel tunnel. A channel.
Channel tunnel, yeah.
Oh,
I just thought everybody made a typo, and then until my brain caught up, like, nope, you're the dumb one.
Nope. Yeah, it goes from Folkestone over to Calais, like you said.
Yay!
You're so smart.
Three Musketeers got me somewhere.
Did you read the book or watch the movie? Which were you?
I read The Count. I have not read Three Musketeers. I watched the Disney version of Three Musketeers, and it was bloody fantastic.
Chris O'Donnell and what's Donald Sutherland? Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes,
right. Isn't
and then
that the
funny
one?
Dude.
Yep, I remember that. Alexander Dumas wrote the Three Musketeers and Count of Monte Cristo. Count of Monte Cristo was a good book. It was a good book. It dragged.
So disturbing.
It dragged a lot in the middle.
Versions. Yeah.
Yeah, but the beginning, like the whole prison thing, that was some reading. Like the whole escape from prison, talk to the sage man in the cell next door.
Jacked up.
Gosh, it's so cool.
Every time I see V for Vendetta and she's like writing to the ghost of the person that's not there anymore, it makes me think of The Count for some reason.
The Count. I need to watch V for Vendetta again. I have that on my movie poster list.
Watch the news.
Wait a minute. I know who plays the angry newsman.
Oh my god! It's just like, okay, life imitating art is not okay in this instance.
Yeah, why can't we imitate Star Trek? Like where we go to space and meet people and stuff. Like what? Why all this angry stuff?
To a high degree, and we don't like socialism unless we don't know it's socialism. Because
we don't like it unless we don't know. I like that.
Yes.
ABC liquor stores are owned by the state government. This is your daily announcement.
The school you send your child to is socialism.
Yeah,
But
but
okay.
hey, you hush now. You hush with your communist. I saw this tweet somebody posted. They're like, I have never in my life, through many years in college and in liberal society, met a communist. I've met socialists. I've never in my life, except for maybe one high dude on the corner of the street, met an actual honest to God communist in America. It's like that. No one in America wants communism. That's
No.
not.
Well,
That's not a
except
plan.
for the Legion of Dorks, because we want to live in a
We
commune.
want to live. Yeah, we want to live in a commune, but we're not gonna make you give us the food you grow and then redistribute the food you grow to everybody else at our company store.
Unless
Speaking
you're
of-
Kelly and Zafo, and then we're just gonna eat at your house every day.
Yes, yeah, that's true because they make good food. Zafo and Hammer and Jacob are gonna be the brewmasters on tap.
Kelly posts like dinner every day on Twitter, and I'm just like,
Look, the best thing I'm gonna be able to do in the commune is make the morning announcements over the megaphone. It's gonna be my job.
I can lead shitty, lazy yoga.
Yeah, there you go. Can you call it that? That sounds
I
like
don't
a
know.
great name.
It's like, and this pose is called cat licking its butt.
I look forward to the society that eventually grows out of our commune, where that's its history. It's a good one. Small town news.
Sub's like, y'all best have a commune next to the sea because the pirate in me cannot be free. And then I'm out of rhyming words.
Move to the coast, Sub. You can't pilot a boat living in the middle of Georgia. Get out there. Find yourself somewhere.
That is true.
Right
oh,
on a
captain
boat.
by captain. Our news better subject to small town news. Quebec woman fined for putting leash on her partner, taking him for a walk. Dude, okay. Steve and I from West Virginia, like medium town. Like it wasn't a city, but it's like the biggest thing in the area city.
Yeah.
And I saw people walking people on leashes at the mall all the time.
Well, yeah. That. Yeah. It must be illegal in Canada.
Like, I feel like, well, I guess the goth movement.
Yeah,
was
that was
strong.
like late 90s, early 2000s when people could walk around in gas masks and Jinko jeans and everybody's just like, look at that guy being a
I
weirdo.
legit love that look so hard.
This is where I realized that 3-year difference, 2.5 year difference between you and I matters. You landed right in Gothland, and then I was like, I was emo pop punk guy. And by the time I was in high school, goth was like the older kids were gothy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I just liked that I could go into Hot Topic and find a powder that matched my skin.
There you go. You're like, this isn't to make me more white. This is just the color I am.
This is what takes the oil. Like, do you remember like how obsessed everybody was with the oil on your skin? We were little, and now I'm just like, thank you God for the copious amounts of oil flowing from my pores so I don't get premature wrinkles.
Wait, what? You don't get wrinkles if you have oil on your face?
Yeah, the more oily your skin is, the more supple it is, so it's harder to.
Oh, I'm in trouble then. I was on Accutane. I have no oil. That
Well,
like saps your face.
It also makes you sad.
It was a stupid pill. Apparently people are having like their intestines removed and stuff. Like it had some gnarly
Isn't
side
it like
effects.
a massive dose of antibiotics?
I actually don't know. I just know that they put it on the blacklist because too many kids were killing themselves, and then at some point, people were having their intestines. I got away okay, I guess, all things considered.
Well, you can't drink milk now. Like,
Well, that's not
somebody
that-
look
they
that up.
didn't
I'm
do
pretty
that.
sure it's just a boatload of like massive antibiotics, right?
Stephanie would know because she's a pharmacist.
And so it would just kill your intestinal flora. And since you're like 90% bacteria, you're probably like, I have no soul anymore because everything's dead.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. It's used to treat acne. Yeah. You get dry lips, and susceptibility to sunburn. Uncommon rare side effects include muscle and myalgia, headaches, cause birth defects. I didn't have to worry about that because I'm a dude.
Well, it
Also,
could have affected your
definitely not an
sperm.
active dude, if you know what I mean. Because you be a nerd when you're in high school, when your computers and your punk rock.
I waited till I was college to not be a prude.
Well,
Don't know
good
how
for
to say
you.
that.
To not be a prude.
Stupid. You guys know what I mean. A Quebec couple was hit with $3,000 in fines after the woman put a leash on her partner and took him for a walk on the weekend to get around a COVID-19 curfew.
Boy,
Never.
we did that thing on the show where we talk about how we relate to the story before reading the story.
I think Jacob just baits us with the titles.
He does. That's what he does.
Quebec residents were placed on an official curfew for 28 days. That was a fun movie to curb the rise of COVID-19 in the province. But dog owners are exempt and can walk their dogs after 8 as long as they stay within a kilometer of their home. Okay. Nope. Never mind. Moving on. Nope. Happy, joy. Leash in hand, the woman, 24, set out for a walk with her partner, 40, on the other end attached to a collar around his neck around 9. In Sherbrooke, and was stopped by popos in the downtown area. Martin Carrier, a spokesperson for the police, said the officers were shocked when they saw the scene. Really? Like,
Sub wants your rant. Whatever you were thinking, he wants to know what it was.
I'm so sick of ranting about COVID.
No, okay. Gotcha. You're like, I don't have the energy.
I'm just like, okay. My thought was this. The curfew is to help curtail the spread of the virus that's killing thousands of people a day in the US, like not even looking at the rest of the planet. Walking your dog, the virus isn't going to go, oh, that's a dog walker. We get it. It's fine. And, the distance around your house, like, it didn't set up like a bing bong cage and go, oh, they're past the kilometer. Let's infect them. By the way, I walk around going bing bong like
bing,
a lot
bing
now
bong
because of you and your dad and his writing app.
Bing bong. That was so awesome. It was so terrible.
Bing bong. Do you ever lay there and you're half asleep and something just in your brain goes do and then you chuckle and you're like, shit, I'm awake now.
Smash. The amount of things that I have thought of that I should have written down in the last week when I was trying to go to sleep. I would be a wealthy human being if I could remember any of it. That's not true. But I would have created some things because I'll go to bed and I'll have this melody in my head. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I should play that on guitar. I'll play on guitar tomorrow.
Nope.
What was that I was thinking of last night? Because that sounded real cool in my head. And then, there's other things like, oh, yeah, that's a really good quote I can add to my book. Gone.
That you leave a notebook next to your bed.
Yeah.
And even if, so I've done this before and I've just written in the dark. And then I wake up and it's enough to trigger what it was, even if I can barely read it. I don't do it now because I sleep with a tiny human. Okay, so the sleep is so disrupted now that I literally don't know when I'm asleep anymore.
That's good.
And half the time the baby sleeps in my arm, just we both fall asleep with him in the crook of my arm because it's comfy for both of us and it keeps him asleep longer. But I took a nap at mom and dad's and I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, why won't you sleep? And I looked, it had been an hour and a half and I'm like,
you can't even enjoy the sleep you're getting because you don't know you're gone.
it was so awful. I love sleep. Sleep is a massive part of me. And I'm just like, I can't even I don't get to dream. I don't get to think of all the fun things and doze off. And then my favorite thing is to wake up and my baby thinks he's a shark trying to eat his way out of his mom because he takes his head and he goes, because it's in the crook of my arm and he starts getting uncomfortable and he's like, so I wake up to a thrashing fish and I'll drop his head in the thing and he'll put my hand up like this and I wake up and I'm like, oh, I didn't sleep at all. How has it been 4 hours?
Yeah, you're missing out. Tomorrow you'll get lots of sleep. They're gonna force you into sleep. They're gonna be
It's
like,
gonna be
go to bed.
well. I have to nurse before, or I have to pump before I go. I have to pump when I get home, and then like get rid of that because I don't.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got stuff
They're
flowing through
putting
your
junk
system.
in me. The nurses were like, you'll be fine." I'm like,
Nah, we didn't. When Stephanie was having the antibiotics at the hospital when she had that cat bite, and they were doing intravenous antibiotics for cat bite, flipping cat. We threw away all that. it was tragic. But I'm like, listen, because we would keep it, and she'd be like, well, I'll keep it. I'm like, you're never going to feel comfortable using it. What's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point? Speaking of getting rid of stuff that we don't need anymore, there's a good show. So the Minimalists, familiar with the Minimalists? I've told you about it. I got on a minimalist kick
The
for a minute.
podcasty thing.
Yeah. So they
Yes.
made a documentary a long time ago called Minimalism. Well, they made a new one
Yes.
called Less Is Now, and it's heavy. It's on Netflix, and it's heavy because of what it's dealing with, but it also made me want to throw away everything again. Because it was particularly going back, one of them, his mother had passed away, and she was alone, and he was her only child, so he had to go back to her house and deal with everything. And it was some heavy moments in there. Like, it wasn't while he was dealing; it was a retelling of how it all worked out and how what triggered him to realize he was getting a 26-foot long U-Haul for stuff his mom didn't own and he didn't care about because she was gone, and where he was going to put. It was really good. I would recommend it. But yeah, Hammer Dwarf is the best example of minimalism of all of us, because he loaded up like a quarter of a pod and moved to Hawaii and left everything.
Oh my gosh.
That sounds like the best reboot ever, because you wake up at the beach.
It's just right. Yeah, I woke up in Hawaii with no drunk. It's so daunting just because, like, Stephanie and I were in school forever, so we moved from apartment to apartment to apartment. So we have like a bunch of that stuff, and it just never occurred to us to deal with it at the time. And then like when mom and dad moved, and then when dad moved from the office, and there's just junk everywhere, and I don't
Yeah.
like. I'm paralyzed about it.
Watch
And I don't
this show.
know.
Watch the show. Find some time, throw on your iPhone on the pot. It's 50.
I want to.
Yeah.
Jacob and I are just like, we're done, and we're stressed out with the amount of stuff. But I'm like, I don't even know where to start. Like, we've got furniture that we're eventually gonna put in the rooms downstairs, but we can't build the rooms downstairs because there's so much other shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, at this point, I'm just like, do we just get rid of it and buy new? But then I'm like, it's antique stuff, and I really want this stuff to be there, but I'm not enjoying it now. So it's
Right.
just like,
It's not. It's a weight. Like
it's
this.
awful.
I found this in my drawer. I
Awful.
don't even know what this is. Why am I keeping it? Why is it in my drawer? I don't know.
Paper is the worst for me. It's so.
And so you just have to like, maybe we could do this. Maybe the Legion can do this together. Like, starting February 1st, we all play the minimalism game. And the way you play it is, the day of that month, like February 1st, we get rid of one item. February 2nd, you have to get rid of 2 items. February 3rd, you have to get rid of 3 items. They don't have to be big. There's no rules. It's just get rid of the items. And I think at the end of the month, you've gotten rid of like 460 items or something.
Oh,
it gets
wow.
really hard as you go through the rest of the month, because you start with the easy stuff, just like junk. And then you're like, you're trying to choose between the Super Nintendo, and you're like, is the Super Nintendo in all the games one thing, or is each game one thing? And you do that stupid stuff. But yeah, I think that would be a fun game, and I would play it, because I played it once and I made it like day 13, and then I'm just like, I'm stressed. What do I get rid of next? I also made the mistake of filling a garbage bag on day 1, and I'm like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have taken this one thing at a time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun.
I feel like I need some sort of like coach to come in, and especially because my brain can't partition things, so everything has the same and equal amount of import.
Yeah.
And I also, it's all or nothing in my head, so I'm just like, this is a thing I'm doing. I'm doing all the things. So same thing you would have done. I would have just filled up a garbage bag. Like mom gave me this fun little e-file because she ended up with 2 of them, and I brought it in, and Jacob's like, "What did you throw out?" And I'm like, "I threw away 2 bras yesterday because I had kept them for the last effing year, even though they didn't work because one of them was broken and one of them had this like glue spot on it that just like oh, is he up? Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Should you shut the door?
We can bust through the rest of this show. We can do
Oh my
it.
god, yeah. I forgot we were supposed to do this. Anyway, they were fined for violating curfew and being absolute dipshits.
Joel Aaron is here. Joel Aaron. Jace Jagger says, "Draw."
Hello, friends.
The best thing he did was organize the drawer with all the tea in it. That's a very good. You know what? Getting your junk drawer
Full of
straight
tea.
is an achievement.
I don't even have junk drawers. Like everything is just out on the floor because I
Everything's
keep
junk.
going to drawer to fix it, and then I just take it all out and set it somewhere. So my drawers are empty. It's just on top of everything, and I go, okay, I'll finish this tomorrow.
News Bear Toast. I think I just said News Bear Left Untold. It's hard to say. Hackers use ransomware to lock up internet-enabled chastity belts. What? What is it? A published security flaw in an internet-enabled male chastity device was exploited by an attacker to remotely lock in wearers until they paid 0.02 bitcoins, valued around $270 around the time of the attacks. Wait, what? There's like a chastity belt on Internet of Things device? The cellmate chastity cage is a connected sex toy with a companion app that can lock or unlock the device remotely over Bluetooth. So you give someone the right to take their wiener out.
Is it like female or male? I'm gonna click
Male chastity belt. Back in October 2020, UK security firm Test Partners, penetration testing on a chastity belt sounds like a good time, disclosed multiple vulnerabilities in the device that could allow anyone to lock the device and prevent the wearers from releasing themselves. According to Test Partners, the flaws exist in the API that's used to communicate between the chastity cage and the mobile app. It wouldn't take an attacker more than a couple of days to exfiltrate the entire user database and use it for blackmail and phishing. The premonition came true, and as per reports, the attacker exploited the vulnerability to mock their victims. Chiwi, on its part, has now posted a video on its support page demonstrating how users can unlock their device either by contacting the company or manually using a screwdriver. Meanwhile, it's reported that source code of the ransomware is now publicly available on GitHub for research purposes. Now, that Internet of Thongs, well done. Well done, Jace
It looks
Jaggers.
like a mouse trap. It looks like one of those like the mice traps that you don't see the mouse.
Oh,
in.
is that the thing? It has a picture of the.
It's apparently like just the tip.
Hold on, we can show it. Where is it? Major
I looked
cock
it
up.
up.
Nice. Oh, you looked it up. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Fine.
I mean, it just shows a picture of a carrot in a mouse trap. I'll send it to you guys.
Okay,
In case
that's
you're
good.
Curious.
Hammer Dwarf says Test Partners is the name of his sex tape. I feel like, yeah, if something got between me and taking my wiener out, I would use any tools at my disposal to get that thing off. You know?
Because what I want to operate near my junk is actual tools.
Hold on a minute. Let me go get the Sawzall.
Well, so the worst part would be like, how do you pee? Because it would just backsplash everywhere.
You'd just be peeing your pants.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully, if you're prepared to wear a chastity belt, you've evacuated your system before putting it on. Unless that's what you're into. Unless you're like that pee pee poo poo pervert.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you're
I
like,
just think with lots of paper towels. Yeah. I don't know.
Just,
How
come on, man.
like a reverse umbrella.
Maybe. WTF. WTF.
You have to show the picture. Of
I
this
know.
while I'm reading.
I see him. Here we go. We'll read the headline and then I'll get going.
Oh, this is submitted by Kelly Lynn Colby. Zafo, I know what you're about to have to do with your face. That sounds wrong. Monkeytail Beard is the latest male fashion trend. It's not being easy. It's not being easy to be a fashionable man in this day and age. I wrote this.
Why are these real? Like this, some of these, sure, but why is the guy in the Oakland A's have a monkey tail beard?
I don't know. It's so funny. It only works if you can see the other half of your face.
I know. Like if this
Like
side,
his is the best example.
yeah, his look like you totally he's fine. You wouldn't know a difference. I mean, kind of, because it's shaved right there where it connects.
Is that okay?
But like, surely Oakland A's guy has lost a bet here. But okay, for audio listeners, you're wondering what we're talking about. We're talking about the Monkeytail Beard, which is a beard, if you can visualize it, that comes down one side of your face, goes under your chin, does not go up the other side of your face, but loops around and around your nose, and then doesn't connect on the other side. So imagine like a monkey tail wrapped over your mouth, like down the side of your face, back over your mouth and around.
I feel like you have to have a very specific face type for this to work too. Because if you don't have a ton of space, like
you can't.
down here,
This doesn't work. There is no face on which this works. You don't get a particular type of face. This is not a thing that you can do and walk around seriously. If somebody showed up at a job interview with Monkeytail Beard, you'd be like, I'm going to need to ask more questions. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, how about this? Nobody's left their house in a year.
And sure.
Nobody of quality has left their house in a year.
Nobody of quality.
Because they care about the rest of the humans on the planet. So, you know what? Why not just wait? That's why I keep telling Kelly, I'm like, just dye your hair. Like,
Yeah, do
you're
whatever
not
you
going
want.
anywhere, dye your hair.
Yeah,
like, it
now
would
is
have
the
been
time.
grown out by now.
Now is the time. I like this guy that has the handlebar going. Like, if there's anyone that I would like, it would be the one that floofs out at the very end.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. That's really cool. Zafo says he can pull it off.
It's only fun if you put a trinket at the bottom. Like it's like it's picked up something.
I like the guys that seem to have like they're doing the marsupilami tail and like striping it. That's really weird. And this guy with that's just gross. I don't know why it's real gross, but it's real gross.
It's real creepy. It's
it
like
curls,
punch me here, please.
It curls back around under his chin like a whirlpool.
I mean, how about this? I would do something fun if I had like facial hair to play with, but I would make it even.
Yeah.
Like on both sides of my face.
Look at these two dudes though. This guy's clearly at the barbershop and asked for it. Like, would you please shave this into a nice looking monkey tail?
Yeah, but I wonder how many people did it and then
like and then fixed it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're not walking around like that. Except for the guy in the Oakland A's, who Travis has told me is Mike Fears. He did it to be cool. Everybody else here, it's like questionable.
It looks the best on him, and I don't know why. I think it's just because it actually looks like a tail.
It does not look good. It does not look good on him.
Well, it's the most tail-like beard. It's like it looks good or bad. It's the most accurate representation of what a monkey tail would be if it was smashed on your face.
I would rather just see these people in big old 70s porn star mustache. That would be way better than Monkeytail.
TV's Travis and Zafo.
You gonna ask them to do it?
What you guys doing with your beard faces?
Get her done. Go make me a monkey tail.
Do a fun beard face thing.
Travis was like, no, I don't. Oh yeah, Travis has too much to lose. He's got a lot of beard. He's got a lot of beard, and I decided last time I had to shave my face because I did something silly with it that I was like, I'm never doing this again. I feel like I don't look right. I don't know why, but I don't look right. I mean, Travis, you could leave the length and just cut the holes where you need the holes. Then you'd have. It's like doesn't even make sense. You don't even make sense. Recently.
Oh. The scrape Zafo said we started out this thing going, hey, you have surgery tomorrow, and then I never took. So they're basically taking a spoon and scraping out my insides.
Oh man, I thought they like clipped it out and tied a rubber band around it or something.
So did I. I thought they just like bit the balls off of it, but no, they like take a big long dessert spoon and just scrape everything off, and I'm like, isn't that bad for me?
They're like, no, you're a pumpkin. Oh gosh, you're a pumpkin. That makes it so much worse. You're a human pumpkin. You're a jack-o'-lantern. I'm so sorry. That sounds way worse. Like, I know when you have a polyp in your intestines, they just go in there and, like, plop it out and you're done. I didn't know that if you had a polyp elsewhere, it was a more involved process.
Well, I guess they're just. I don't know if they just scrape the one area or if they just scrape like everything.
That's a really good question. And I don't know what a polyp looks like anyway. I imagine it's like a bump of some sort. Yes,
Oh,
it's a
it's like a
uvula.
hanging dangly thing.
The uvula. Ox says it'll be faster if they use a power drill. I would advise not asking them what tools they'll be using.
Do not stick a power drill into my cervix. It will be no. That's not like okay, ma'am, it's time for birth. You're not dilating like you should, so we're just gonna stick this circulating solid up your hoo ha.
That's not how that works. That's not what you do. That's not how the human body. Look, keep power tools away from your genitals. That's a pro
Actually,
tip.
there's like a whole sex toy range that basically is a power tool.
Well, I mean, that's what I call it.
I have a question. When you drink from your thing, do you rest your teeth on it like this?
I've lost it. I don't know where it is. It's downstairs somewhere. I leave that giant gallon jug literally everywhere. I'm like, and I'll wander. I go, where did I leave my bottle? It's a jug. It's a gallon of water, and I leave it, and I can't find it. I probably sat it in the bathroom or something. It's like when you get up from the couch, you take the remote control with you, and then you sit it somewhere, and you're like, where'd the remote go? And you find it in the bathroom. Like, why is it in here?
Jacob takes dish towels. I find them everywhere. I find them in the bathroom. I find them like everywhere. I'm just like, this house is the most linear thing on the planet. Like, where do you take the dish towels? I found them in the garage before because he puts them over his shoulder. I don't keep anything on me because I'm a ferret and I'm just like, I have this thing that I'm using. Walks away. Where was the thing that I'm using? Oh, is he down?
Oh, he's
Sweet.
Oh yeah,
Sweet.
we're free now.
That's good because Jacob's gonna have to do it the next couple nights. Poor guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It's you know what?
I
It's fine.
can't lift the baby.
Oh yeah, you've got like rules now. You can't do stuff. Yeah, Stephanie, I told her she's got to go to bed because go to bed because you have to get up at like 5 a.m. So and then me and Sam are gonna be eating cereal.
So stupid. The whole thing is stupid. I'm like angry. I don't like the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor. I told Jacob, I'm like, I've been fine since I went to the doctor. Like everything's good. Jacob's like, you have to go. Like I don't want to. So I have a feeling it's like when I was in labor and Jacob's like, you have to go to the I'm like, I don't wanna. I don't wanna. No, I hate. Don't wanna. You can't make me.
But you did, and now you learned you. It's good that you went. Otherwise, it could be worse.
Nope.
Things can get worse. Jewel, go to the doctor.
I wonder if that's like just a West Virginia thing or what. But
No,
I'm like,
it's a person
hate going
thing.
to the doctor.
Nobody
Don't want
wants
to do it.
Yeah, nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to be told that they have a thing that needs to be surgical. They don't want to be surgered. They just want to live.
3 years has been like at the beginning of every year, something is wrong with my vagina that I have to go. Like in 2019, I had cysts, and they're like, "Oh, you have PCOS. That's why you're in pain." I'm like, "Okay." And then the next year, I gave birth, and this year it's like a polyp, and I'm like, "Do I win something?" Like
that's a hat trick. You get
right?
the vagina hat trick.
Like okay, sweet.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know what cards you drew.
HG has to get it up his butt.
Yeah, you got to get that up the butt. That's
Yeah.
that you just have you ever watched YouTube videos of of people after colonoscopies just farting while they're under anesthesia?
Oh, HG, you have to make a film. You have to. Who can film you when you come out of it? Not the farting. We're okay without that, but just you being loopy. Because I remember when Mom had hers done, and like she was walking, she's like, How you doing?
I, rem-
I need drunken HG.
I remember going to pick up Ashley after she had like your nose worked on or something, and you got real quiet and you started doing this. We're like, Ashley, are you okay? I'm making my mouth dance. It's so stupid.
They had surgery in my ear, but they didn't tell me that they were gonna do it. So when I moved my jaw, it was like tugging on my ear, and I'm like, "It feels weird."
You couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, jackasses. I hate West Virginia.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was a wild time. I've never had a surgery. I guess I had one. I had the tongue surgery when I was 11.
Yeah. You were 11? Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that we had to do to Sam when he was first born that kids forget about, and you're just like, whatever. I had that done at 11.
Nope.
And you want to know the
Gentle
best?
skin attachments freak me out.
You want to know the best part about that whole scenario? We go to
No.
the doctor, and my mom's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna go in." It was the oral surgeon, and he was gonna go in and talk to you about what the deal's gonna be. So I walk in, and he explains. He said, "You know what? You're my last appointment. You want to just do it today?" I'm like, "What? Yes, I want to do it today." Mom was like, "Well, this way we'll just get it over with." I know, we'll get it over with. And then I remember thinking, like, they put me on the gas. They didn't knock me out, but they put me on the gas, and I was like, I'm in a nest of wasps, and they're poking me with stingy sticks.
It's just no. Everything in my face hurts right now. Why is that freaking me out more than the spoon?
I don't know. The
pumpkin
spoon
striking
vagina
my
sounds
butt
way
cheek?
worse than my tongue. Yeah, I was tongue tied. I had a tongue tie, and the doctor told
He
my
stuck his
mom when I
tongue
was
out
a
and
kid.
just-
Doctor was like, he's gonna have a speech impediment. And then she's like, well, we'll just see. I don't want you cutting on my baby. And I was like, and then I didn't have a speech impediment, and everything was fine until I had to do more dental stuff and like the what do they call that? What's the thing that holds your tongue down? The flaningus, the flunnelingus,
The flaningus.
the
Yes.
the flunnelingus was stuck, got in the way of some of the dental stuff they were having to do, and it hurt like the dickens. So I was like, just please, just go. Let's go cut it. Let's just get it cut out. And then now I'm thankful for it. I have a tongue like Gene Simmons. I'm kidding. I don't. I definitely don't. That's a joke.
There's so much stuff that could go wrong with your body. Like there's just so much stuff that can just
Yeah. Your body is
no.
just barely holding together. I mean, if you think about it, it copies itself. Like little cells, they copy themselves over and over and over like billions of times. The fact that something doesn't go wrong is a miracle.
Steven, Horn
yeah.
Here's a Who.
Oh, are you gonna break my heart? Because I really loved that show as a kid.
No, you don't. You don't. You think you do, but you don't. It's awful. It's murderous, violent, awful bullcrap. Dr. Seuss is a maniac.
You might be right. You might be. But man, I get a lot of joy out of some Dr. Seuss.
Like what?
Like I like The Cat in the Hat. I thought that was really fun. Green Eggs and Ham is pretty fun. Whoa, the Places You Will Go is pretty fun. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas is pretty fun.
The Grinch is awful. They segregate this little dude until he becomes a bitter murder rampage monkey.
I don't think so. The backstory that was added in the new animated movie, what didn't exist in the book, where it makes him like he's an orphan who's not invited to anything. No wonder he hates everyone. That made it worse. That made it a little bit worse. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Yeah, the ABC book. That thing was fun. There's a lot of Dr. Seuss that good, and I hate that you're bothered. Yeah, see the Grinch stuff was not canonical. It's not
okay. So it looks like he took LSD and wrote children's books.
That might be true.
Like
that might
if
be
Lewis Carroll wrote books for babies, and I hate Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, I didn't
like violently, like violent, icky reaction, and that's the Horton Hears Who. I'm just like, my God, what are we like? You're talking about boiling an entire culture in juice? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then like tying up an elephant till it can't move and beating him to death and watching all of his friends die? Dear Jesus.
I'm skeptical about your reviews over anything, considering you think Moana is a sex tale.
It is though. It
I just can't. I can't take you as seriously as you want me to take you. Ever since your Moana review, where you talk about how much it's a sex tale, it's a sexual intercourse allegory. And I just can't. I can't handle it.
The man sneaks in, steals her pearl. She's devastated forever. What the hell else is that talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to drop one letter and bam, moan. That's good, Zappo. But homework assignment: go watch Moana on Disney Plus and come back and tell me that it's obvious that it's about someone's virginity being stolen from them.
Personified the island and made her with legs, and I'm like, gee, I wonder where the pearl is.
I didn't see it the way you saw it, I guess. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I am not enlightened enough to see the pain and hurt in all the illustrations around me.
Yeah, and and his big stick. And like when he loses his big stick, all his Jimmy juice is gone.
You and Jacob were 30-plus-year-old perverts watching this movie together. You can't back each other up because you're both contaminated each other. Whatever.
Yay!
Sleeping Beauty was a rape tale. Go watch it. Watch it with this angle and you'll know for sure.
I mean, all of those were rape tales because women were just chattel to be sold off to whoever could pay the family the most.
Well, okay, yeah, you're not wrong. And they were based on Grimm's fairy tales, which were always gross. I remember reading Cinderella for the first time, or reading it in school, and it was like, yes, and the sister cut off her heel to fit her foot in the shoe, and it bled everywhere. And I'm like, okay, this is gruesome.
If you were gonna cut off part of your foot, it wouldn't be your heel because it's bone, bitch.
Yeah, look. Nobody said that when Grimm's wrote these books, they knew the anatomy, you know.
The real Disney movies. I remember the first time I read The Little Mermaid, but like the actual Little Mermaid where she turns to sea foam, and I'm just like, bitch, you know that guy for like a day. What the hell's the matter with you?
You saw him through the water, and you don't even. How do you even speak the same language?
Right?
You know, like
you can't have sexy time.
No,
how would you even know what to do with his sexy bits?
Yeah, like you just drop eggs on the ground and some merman swims by, drops his stuff, and then you have new mermaid babies. That's how fish do it. Yeah.
I wonder if that's how humans did it. If does your cloaca need scraping because you get polyps?
Scrape that cloaca. Let's get this
cloaca. And on that note,
yeah.
Good show.
What if humans laid eggs like chickens? Gross.
Ew, and then would other animals sneak by and eat human eggs?
It would be so much more convenient, though. Could you imagine? Like, really, I've got a sci-fi story in mind regarding artificial wombs.
If you do not write that, I am going to take the biggest boot I can find and shove it up your butt.
I've got a plan. I just need money.
It's my last ask, Jimmy.
I've got a plan, Arthur. I just need money.
Jeez, stupid freaking. I'd have shot that mofo way before.
Listen, you know Dutch.
You know Dutch. Sam, we said that so much. Sam would walk around going, Dutch.
You know Dutch.
Dutch.
Red
Dead
Redemption 2.
You saw like a duck in the store one time, and Sam was like, "Give me them ducks.
Give me them ducks."
Give me ducks. So
my dad called one day, and I was like, "Sam, say hi to your pop," and he goes, "Hey, buddy." Like, where did that even come from? Like, hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
What you doing? It was so funny.
You're a liar.
Oh gosh, y'all are awesome. Hey, we're gonna get Ashley to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep, and we all gonna have a great day. So, Ashley, we wish you luck in your cloaca scraping tomorrow.
Thank you.
I hope that all of it goes well. That you return home Plentiful
Die.
drunk.
I love you guys a lot.
So, pro tip, just tell them to give you all the drugs to prevent any kind of motion sickness post-anesthesia. It's worth it.
Yes.
Just tell them, I get motion sick after anesthesia. And they'll be like, okay. And because Stephanie, after her second surgery, first one, couldn't get her in the car. Second surgery, she's like, I get motion sick. They're like, oh, we're going to hook you up. And they gave her like 3 different things. And she woke up, she's like, this is great. She's like, I feel awesome. Let's go home.
I remember that she walked into the house and like we held a bag and she puked in it. And I'm just like.
Yeah, it was bad. That was bad. That was bad. Bad. Second surgery. Hey, by the way, I don't handle anesthesia well. Oh, okay. That doctor was awesome. He's like, you want some of the chemotherapy drugs? I'm gonna hook you up with the chemotherapy drugs. Not the chemo, but the stuff that helps with the nausea.
Getting sick. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, bam. She was easy peasy. She's like, let's go home. I'm ready.
Yeah, I remember that was when she got everything removed. She's like, that was better.
It was easy. Well, they weren't reassembling her kneecap when they did that one.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Hi,
that's,
Frankie.
doesn't come with a what? Oh, Joel
wait.
Aaron. Joel, what did you draw?
Oh God, I had eyelashes in that picture. Oh, even had hair in that picture.
I did. That was an old one.
Is that the apartment from
Yeah, that's old. I think so. Or it's the room over there.
No,
I
look
think
at the carpet.
I think that's the old apartment, I guess. I don't remember. That's not that's not in Bridgeport, is it?
No, maybe that's the one here.
I think that was here, maybe. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what all the places we've lived look like. Oh, the places you have lived.
Yes.
Thank you, Joel. It's so good to see you back, man. So glad that you joined.
So fun.
Oh,
You
you're
guys are
great.
so clever.
You guys are so talented. Every single one of you are amazing. Stephen has hair. Was I even alive when that pic was taken? Thanks, sub.
I was gonna say I know that was sub.
Yeah, that was. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on the show. We've had a really good time. If you like the show, you can review it. One place that apparently is picking up a lot of steam in terms of reviews and podcasting goodness is Podchaser. Podchaser.com. I went over there today and I'm like, dang, this site's actually really nice for finding and reviewing podcasts. That's a cool place to go leave a review if you haven't before. We're on there. Just go to Horseshoes and Hand Grenades when you get there and you can leave a review. 5 stars and some nice words would be awesome. I went over and reviewed Gene Pool Variety Hour today, and that was fun. I was just like, I'm going to review mom people. Blip, 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 blip. Yeah, I think you did. You reviewed everybody.
I was gonna say I think I went in one day and I got a bunch of reviews in, but I remember I had to stop and then I never went back.
You're also not listed as a creator, so I can't add you on this show. But you reviewed
I don't know
it.
how to do it.
Okay, maybe that's something we can solve later.
Did I review you guys? I feel like I did, or I pulled it up and like added you to my favorites.
You did.
Okay.
Podchaser's pretty cool, though. So that's fun. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at SteveH&H. You can follow Ashley at Fate Kills, Phate Kills. If she does tweet, it's usually gold. If she doesn't tweet, it's because she's trying to not use social media, but she can't help it. And sometimes I know when she's online because I'll get like 87 likes on all my tweets all of a sudden, like bloop, 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 bloop. And it's all Ashley liked, Ashley liked, Ashley liked, Ashley liked. I'm like, oh, she's using Twitter for a minute. But yeah. So check that out.
She must be in the bathroom.
She must be pooping. You can tip us to help us make the show better and help us with our bills over there at twodorks.net/tip for a one-time thing, or join our patrons over there at patreon.com. You can find that, twodorks.net/support. And you can join the likes of Og and Oddly Normal One and Jesse
JH.
and J.H. Jaggers and my mom and dad, Ashley's mom and dad,
Geekheim.
Adam and Christina of Geekheim. I need to put the list in this notes. I've got it in Staring at Goats. I'm like, I don't have my list and it's growing. If you really want to make me stress, go ahead and subscribe to Patreon, and then I'll have to remember all your names because I'm going to do this again, and it's going to stress me out, and I'm going to be sad.
And if you want glitter cards, tell me and I'll mail you a glitter card.
Yeah, because everybody
I've
wants
got
a glitter
all the
bomb.
stuff sitting out because I took it out of a drawer and I'm like, I need to go through this.
This was a good half hour of power, Ashley. Good half hour.
An hour and a half of power.
Yeah, we did it. We made it. We're going to leave you with these words of wisdom from Jimmy Dean. He says, I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust my sails to always reach my destination. That's right, Jimmy Dean. You know what's up. Keep making that sausage. We love you. You guys are awesome. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.